Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng had no choice under the erosion of those 9 bizarre forces. He simply couldn't unleash much of his strength. Without using the secret treasure, he stood no chance of winning the wager against the Thunder Ancestor. Now, with the protection of the Star Tower, he could more easily handle his opponent. Of course, staying hidden in the tower without counterattacking would still count as a loss. He must confront face-to-face and gain the upper hand to win this wager. Is that the 9-layered pagoda? The Thunder Ancestor was aware of Luo Feng's confrontation with Emperor Qing, and knew of the existence of this 9-layered pagoda. Thunder Ancestor, in this wager, my only chance lies in using a secret treasure, Luo Feng said. Be careful. I've cultivated for several more epochs than you, and it's essentially a case of the strong preying on the weak, said the Thunder Ancestor with a smile. Use whatever secret treasure you have, as long as you can gain a slight advantage. I will consider it my loss. Whoosh .. Luo Feng's body instantly transformed into an endless river. The most basic unit of life that constituted this endless blood river was still the multi-hoofed clawed creature form. It was just that the external form had changed into a river of blood. The blood river instantly enveloped the Thunder Ancestor. The Thunder Ancestor could feel that the waters of the blood river were incredibly heavy, and it also formed a spatial cage that sought to imprison him. There were forces trying to penetrate his body, aiming to shred it apart. The Thunder Ancestor stood still, not moving an inch, with only invisible forces flowing around his body. He was at the zenith of perfection, impervious to all external forces and unshakable. Luo Feng had once, with his own strength, overpowered 8 emperors joined together. Compared to that time, the most basic energy that made up the blood river had transformed from the 24 forms to the multi-hoofed clawed creature form. Luo Feng's realm had also increased significantly. Interesting, commented the Thunder Ancestor, as he playfully touched the blood river with his hand, causing the entire endless blood river to tremble violently and begin to burst in various places. Go! Luo Feng, now transformed into the endless blood river, instantly unleashed the Star Tower, executing a lethal move. After gaining a deeper understanding of the 12-colored, blood-colored scales at the edge with the help of the Eye of Life and Death, Luo Feng had comprehended the Great Tao of Life and Death's 9 secret branches, named Meteor. With the aid of the Star Tower secret pattern, this technique could be elevated to a terrifying level. Boom! The Star Tower, like a meteor, crossed the void of the universe ocean in an instant. Both the Thunder Ancestor and the distant observing primogenitor Yang Feng changed their complexions. With their rich experience and extraordinary perceptions, the sight of the Star Tower cutting through the void of the universe ocean like a meteor signified a pause in time and a natural splitting of space. At that moment, the Star Tower was unbreakable. The Thunder Ancestor couldn't avoid this strike, for as soon as he saw the meteor, it had simultaneously struck his body. Booming thunder .. The Thunder Ancestor took the hit and staggered back several steps with his towering physique. The power of the supreme rules acted like shackles, completely binding his strength. Of course, the Star Tower's power was also greatly constrained. Under equal powers, the Star Tower repelled him. A super-secret treasure. It must be a treasure of the top echelons, the Thunder Ancestor was certain at this moment. That strike, it fixed time, separated space, and condensed matter to its extreme, truly unbreakable. It must be a prized secret treasure crafted by Senior Yuan and his peers. The realms are so disparate, yet with the treasure, he could repel thunder. It must be a treasure worth over 100,000 reward points in infinite space, thought primogenitor Yang Feng as well. Only a treasure of this level could create many miracles. Ha ha ha. The Thunder Ancestor laughed heartily, and in the far reaches in all directions, there were 8 Thunder Avatars condensing. A total of 8 Thunder Ancestors naturally formed a massive formation that rapidly suppressed the operation of various great Taos like time, space, matter, life, etc. Luo Feng's endless blood river quieted down considerably, with only the star tower transformed into a meteor continuing to tear through the formation, and then strike at the Thunder Ancestors' true body and avatars. However, under the pressure of the formation, the counterattacks from the star tower significantly weakened. Even without using treasures, we couldn't suppress this little 9-layered tower, remarked the 9 Thunder Ancestors, as they watched the star tower, time after time tearing through the formation and charging. A hint of greed flashed in the depths of their eyes. They coveted such treasures, but alas, he knew the galaxy ruler would not give him the opportunity, and would not bring this precious pagoda out of the land of origin. The Thunder Ancestor waved his hand and threw out an ancient stone pillar. The stone pillar became the core of the entire formation, permitting the formation created by the 9 Thunder Ancestors to grow even stronger, exerting a more terrifying suppression over the various great Taos such as time, space, matter, life, etc. At this moment, Luo Feng himself was utterly suppressed, and although the star tower could still charge, it had become lost within the formation, and could no longer touch the Thunder Ancestor. It actually forced the Thunder Ancestor to use a secret treasure. Primogenitor Yang Feng watched from afar with great surprise. The Thunder Ancestor was a half-primordial life, and even without employing any treasures, he should have been able to suppress the galaxy ruler. Yet this time, he was forced to use a secret treasure. This showed how special the 9-layered pagoda was. The gap between them is too wide, said Emperor Qing as he watched the scene. Even with the 9-layered pagoda, Galaxy Brother can't win. It's already impressive that it made the Thunder Ancestor use a secret treasure. Galaxy, do you have any other methods left? The Thunder Ancestor asked. If not, you might as well admit defeat. The endless blood river instantly converged into Luo Feng, who looked at the Thunder Ancestor with great admiration. Thunder Ancestor, your realm is indeed much higher than mine, which is why I have to use a forbidden power. Forbidden power? The Thunder Ancestor was surprised and chuckled. Use whatever forbidden power you have. Luo Feng nodded and, in a moment of thought, entered the inner part of the star tower. At this moment, the eye of life and death between his eyebrows opened. Peering inside the star tower at the 12-colored blood-colored scales on the edge, Luo Feng, through his observation, could not detect any destruction weakness of these blood-colored scales, only sensing their perfection and might. But Luo Feng could see the most vital part of these blood-colored scales. In the previous long years, Luo Feng had attempted it. Although I don't quite understand, with the eye of life and death, I can mobilize a truly terrifying sliver of power from these blood-colored scales. Under the observation of Luo Feng's eye of life and death, he rapidly drove the deep area secret patterns within the star tower. Previously, only the superficial layer of secret patterns had been activated. Luo Feng did not understand the deeper ones. But with the help of the Eye of Life and Death, seeing where the vital force was strongest, and after repeated attempts over the years, Luo Feng finally figured out a way to mobilize a sliver of power. This was also why he dared to bet and battle with Thunder Ancestor. Buzz. Accompanied by the activation, a streak of blood color extended from the 12-colored blood-colored scales, beginning to infiltrate the entire star tower. The star tower, too, became a blood-colored pagoda. Thunder Ancestor and Primogenitor Yang Feng, watching the color change of the 9-layer pagoda from afar, felt a vague sense of oppression in their hearts. It's said that among treasures above 100,000 reward points, there are some forged using world-level primordial life as materials. Some are even made using the corpses of primordial ancestors. Thunder Ancestor looked at the star tower at this moment, and the terrifying aura of the Star Tower was already a trace of an even more fearsome existence outside the braided cage. This pagoda should be one of such treasures. Go. The Star Tower once again streaked across the void of the universe ocean. This time, everything in its path was pierced through. Space-time and formations were all pierced, instantly striking the true body of Thunder Ancestor, sending Thunder Ancestor tumbling and flying away in a sorry state. Thunder World, 10 absolute formations. Thunder Ancestor could no longer hold back, and threw out his most powerful formation. As a cultivator from the Source World, if his avatar outside perishes in battle, he can send another one. So the most precious treasures, he also kept plenty within the Source World. For example, Thunder Ancestor's most powerful Thunder World 10 absolute formations, he now has 2 sets of formations. One set he carries with him outside, another set stored within the Source World as a backup. At this moment, he had no choice but to go all out. He had never really thought that he would be forced to use his most powerful formation in the land of origin. Rumble tilde 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 tilde. Around, 10 thunder condensed silhouettes emerged, each silhouette controlling a grand formation. The 10 formations perfectly merged into one entity, forming a Thunder World. Thunder World naturally had its operational rules, suppressing all foreign forces. Suppress. Thunder Ancestor went all out, wanting to suppress the Star Tower. Rumble tilde tilde tilde. The blood-colored Star Tower still forcibly penetrated the formation unable to suppress it. This 10 absolute formation is simply a labyrinth. Luo Feng slightly frowned. The Star Tower zigzagged through, crashing from one grand formation into another, but couldn't touch Thunder Ancestor at all. The realm gap is too wide. Even if the Star Tower is strong, it can't reach the opponent. Luo Feng thought. Immediately, the Eye of Life and Death closely observed the Thunder World. Under the Eye of Life and Death, the structure of space-time, the flow of energy, the combination of the 10 formations, all became much clearer. Luo Feng saw dozens of weaknesses in the operation of the formations at a glance. As the formations operated, these weaknesses were also changing. Go. Luo Feng, having seen through the formation with the Eye of Life and Death, had an immediate intent. The Star Tower flashed. Instantly, following the weaknesses of the formation, continuously pierced through the many spatial obstacles, resoundingly slamming into the body of Thunder Ancestor, who hid in the deepest part of Thunder World, sending Thunder Ancestor staggering and flying away. How is this possible? How could he find me? Thunder Ancestor couldn't believe it. Although he was a bloodline cultivator with a primordial pedigree, this formation was forged by an enlightened being of half primordial level. He had asked for help. To break this formation was by no means easy. Thunder Ancestor took a step and immediately hid in another area of Thunder World. Sigh. Resisting the suppression of Thunder World, the Star Tower once again pierced through the weaknesses of the formation, striking the body of Thunder Ancestor. Once, twice, thrice. Repeatedly hit multiple times. Under the power restrictions of the land of origin, neither side could truly harm the other. Thus, the betting battle was about who gained the upper hand. But the situation had already become clear. I lost, Thunder Ancestor spoke up, dispelling the formation, his mood complex as he looked at Luo Feng. He had previously said verbally that the Galaxy Ruler had a slim possibility of winning, but deep down he didn't believe he would lose. In his eyes, even if the Galaxy Ruler had a super-secret treasure, it wouldn't be enough to win against him. A junior who hasn't left the Source World, using a secret treasure, was able to suppress me. Thunder Ancestor felt complex emotions. The power of the land of origin is restricted. Only with the same amount of power as the Ancestor could I hold a slight advantage, Luo Feng said. If it were outside, I'm afraid I wouldn't even have the strength to fight back. With enough force, even 10 guilds could be overcome. Luo Feng was very clear, when the disparity in power was too great, the Star Tower might also be seized. You won fair and square, Thunder Ancestor nodded slightly. I can afford to lose. Land Duo, I'll deal with it personally. Having said that, Thunder Ancestor took a step and left. Primogenitor Yang Feng, Emperor Qing, and East Extreme Domain Ancestor Feng, she was still standing by, but the Thunder Ancestor had left on his own, visibly in a poor mood. With the restriction on power, I relied on 2 super-secret treasures to gain a slight upper hand. Luo Feng felt no pride, but instead became more acutely aware of the gap between himself and the powerful beings outside the source world. After leaving the land of origin, I must be more cautious. These 2 great secret treasures are specifically for aiding in cultivation, and they won't be taken out of the land of origin. Outside the land of origin, one must rely on their own strength to make their way. Brother Galaxy. Emperor Qing said with a smile, I really didn't expect you to win this bet. It truly surprised us. Primogenitor Yang Feng was also taken aback, as he looked at Luo Feng. He knew very well that there were 4 stages above the Godly King. The gap between the first stage, early stage of Divine Emperor, and the 4th stage, perfection of Divine Emperor, was simply too vast. Even with the power restrictions, the difference in realms was still significant. Although the super-secret treasures are special, Primogenitor Yang Feng and the others were not unfamiliar with them. This galaxy, perhaps, is one of those dazzling existences among billions of worlds, thought Primogenitor Yang Feng, who had also encountered many dazzling beings while adventuring outside the source world. Compared to those dazzling beings, the 2 of them were too ordinary. Galaxy, by winning this bet, there will be an additional rule in the land of origin from now on. The great sinners must die without doubt, the East Extreme Domain Ancestor also said with a smile, pleased with the outcome. She is the most merciful among the divine emperors and has no blood connection with the native lives of the land of origin, yet she still chooses to protect them. This bet was somewhat lucky, Luo Feng remarked, knowing that if he hadn't obtained the Eye of Life and Death, just relying on the Star Tower, he couldn't have defeated the Thunder Ancestor. Galaxy, if you have time later, you can visit the East Extreme Domain. East Extreme Domain Ancestor Feng, she smiled slightly. Definitely. Luo Feng nodded. The East Extreme Domain Ancestor then immediately took her leave. Galaxy. Primogenitor Yang Feng then said, why not visit my ancient flame wind country? Sure. Luo Feng agreed. Having borrowed the status of a guest elder in the ancient flame wind country during his weaker years, he had received some inheritances, and been able to enter the infinite space treasure vault, and also had the help of his master Emperor Chu. Speaking of which, Primogenitor Yang Feng also had shown kindness to him. In the ancient flame wind country, atop a towering mountain, Primogenitor Yang Feng, Emperor Qing, and Luo Feng each took a seat, with puppet lives serving delicious food and wine. This is where I usually reside in seclusion. Primogenitor Yang Feng looked at the surrounding mountain ranges. Apart from me, there are only some puppets. I really like the tranquility here. Primogenitor Yang Feng smiled at Luo Feng. Galaxy, once you go outside the source world, you will truly cherish the peaceful days within the land of origin. Oh? Luo Feng was accustomed to the peace of the land of origin. For him, within the land of origin, no one could threaten him. Outside the source world, even when cultivating within a cave mansion, there might be some very special low-level primordial life that could sneak into your cave mansion to mount a sneak attack. Primogenitor Yang Feng shook his head, death could come at any time. We who come from the source world are fine, as long as we cultivate an avatar, at least one remains in the source world. Those rising powerhouses from the billions of worlds, however, don't have the clone technique, and their situation is even worse. To survive, they resort to any means necessary. Emperor Qing also nodded, outside the source world, our main opponents are low-level primordial life, but we also need to be wary of attacks from other cultivators. They don't have the clone technique, indeed they are more prone to desperation, Luo Feng nodded. There are two types of cultivators within the braided cage, primogenitor Yang Feng explained. One type is the lives hailing from the source world, which is a vast world naturally nurtured and containing supreme rules. The other type is from the billions of worlds created by Senior Yuan, where many creatures naturally possess the primordial bloodline, making their cultivation easier. Born with the primordial bloodline. Luo Feng was surprised. Like the primordial bloodline creatures I have cultivated, primogenitor Yang Feng said, the creatures I've cultivated are low in intelligence. But Senior Yuan and the others can integrate this primordial bloodline into intelligent life forms. They possess sufficient intelligence and comprehension, and also have the boost of the primordial bloodline. Thus, the cultivators out in the source world are mostly dominated by the powerhouses of the billions of worlds. Our starting point is lower, typically only reaching true God after birth, and cultivation is harder. It's many times tougher than for those born with the primordial bloodline. But our potential is greater. We can also cultivate the clone technique, stated primogenitor Yang Feng. Luo Feng now understood the two main types of camps among cultivators. One type are the naturally nurtured beings, and the other type are the creatures from the billions of worlds created by Senior Yuan. Once out in the source world, you can experience various cultivation systems, hunt down various low-level primordial life, and interact with powerhouses from the billions of worlds in the dark, all helping you to go further, primogenitor Yang Feng continued, but the real treasures, the competition out in the source world is simply too fierce. The best way for us to obtain treasures is still within the land of origin, Emperor Qing also nodded. Special life remnants? Luo Feng asked. Yes. Primogenitor Yang Feng nodded. Both the dark area of the dream domain and the depths of the heavenly pillar realm offer a chance to obtain a portion of special life remnants. But in both places, you are limited to obtaining just one portion. Just one portion. Luo Feng was unaware of this information. For example, if you enter the dark area of the dream domain and obtain a portion of special life remnants after much effort, you will be immediately expelled and will not be able to re-enter. Primogenitor Yang Feng explained, this must be a rule set by Senior Yuan. Thus, adding together both the dream domain and the heavenly pillar realm, a life can obtain at most 2 portions of special life remnants. As divine emperors, it is relatively easy to obtain, primogenitor Yang Feng said. This is also the most important treasure for us divine emperors of the land of origin. As for innate secret treasures, secret technique, it all depends on luck. Primogenitor Yang Feng smiled and said, remember, do not easily sell the special life remnants. If you really want to sell them, you can ask me. I can offer a high price. Understood. Luo Feng nodded and asked, by the way, what are these special life remnants? Dream realm space. It should be the corpse of a very special world-level primordial life, with the corpse as the foundation, forming countless dream realm spaces, said primogenitor Yang Feng. The heavenly pillar realm should also be the corpse of a world-level primordial life. The corpse of a world-level primordial life is immensely huge. A little bit of flesh, scales, and fur taken apart can yield over 100 million parts. Primogenitor Yang Feng continued, Senior Yuan has hidden these remnants in the most core area, and with sufficient strength, one could hope to obtain them. Within the land of origin, these 2 treasure sites are also the most important. The other sites are much less valuable, said primogenitor Yang Feng. Also, the infinite space is special. It is connected to a large number of source worlds at the same time. Luo Feng understood. Other treasure sites are visited directly by the true body. Only the infinite space is accessed through an opportunity that allows a strand of consciousness to descend remotely. The land of origin has utilized 2 corpses of world-level primordial life. It seems that Senior Yuan and the others have killed quite a number of world-level primordial life, realized Luo Feng at this moment, understanding that the higher-level killings must be very intense. Our greatest crisis is actually the attacks on the land of origin by the innate primordial life groups, said primogenitor Yang Feng. If one day, the innate primordial life group attacks the land of origin and devours it, then we are finished. Does this happen often? Asked Luo Feng. Quite a lot. Primogenitor Yang Feng nodded. Our cultivators camp and the innate primordial life camp are in conflict, and we are at a disadvantage. Even recently, an important world group, Shell Valley World Group, specifically used for cultivating divine emperors, has completely lost contact, presumably fallen, also said Emperor Qing. Billions of worlds, cultivating divine emperors, all gone. And multiple source worlds near the Shell Valley World Group are probably gone too. Luo Feng listened in shock. Both camps fight so fiercely. Outside the source world, there are opportunities and resources aplenty, but the environment is extremely harsh. It's because our whole cultivator camp situation is not good. We need more cultivators to step out of the braided cage, said primogenitor Yang Feng. Only by stepping out of the braided cage can we participate in the war between the 2 camps. Primogenitor Yang Feng and Emperor Qing shared many secret information with Luo Feng, also intending to support each other along the way forward. These things are all far from us. Our most urgent task is to seize the resources in front of us, Emperor Qing said, sending information to Luo Feng. This is the information on the deep areas of the Dream Realm Dark Area and Heavenly Pillar Realm. The Dream Realm Dark Area is constantly changing, so my information can only be taken as a reference. The deep area of the Heavenly Pillar Realm hasn't changed. You should look into it more. First, get the special life remnants from these 2 places, said Emperor Qing. Thanks. Luo Feng felt the goodwill from the 2. Beyond the braided cage, the war between the 2 camps was too distant for him. There was no need to think too much about it. Mount Leitang. The ancestor was furious and went to find the galaxy ruler himself, thought Lan Duo monarch in his own cave mansion. Afterward, he even went to the universe ocean area for a great battle. Unfortunately, that battle was beyond my ability to spy. Lan Duo monarch was quite excited. The ancestor personally intervening might cause the galaxy ruler to change his attitude, no longer hindering his pillaging of creatures. I wonder what the situation of this battle was. With the power limitations of the land of origin, the galaxy ruler will surely survive, but in front of the ancestor, he will definitely suffer. Lan Duo monarch had immense faith in his own ancestor. Humph! Suddenly, a cold snort sounded in Lan Duo monarch's consciousness. Then, terrifying thunder exploded within Lan Duo monarch's soul, a thunder with the power to annihilate souls. This is the terror of the primordial bloodline path. Though not understanding the soul path, one could exploit the bloodline talents. Luo Feng had faced Thunder Ancestor before, subjected to simultaneous attacks on physical body, soul and spirit, but of course, Luo Feng could easily withstand them. But facing terrifying thunder that could destroy the soul and annihilate the physical body, reaching the power limits of the land of origin, without the protection of Mount Leitang, Lan Duo monarch could not withstand it. Ancestor. At the moment of death, Lan Duo monarch knew who had killed him. He was unwilling, unbelieving. But in an instant, his consciousness was extinguished. From today onwards, the great sinners, who have devoured millions of creatures on the land of origin, will all be executed. The voice of Thunder Ancestor resounded in the consciousness of every king in the ancient country. White Demon, Lan Duo succumbed one after another, along with the command issued by Thunder Ancestor and primogenitor Yang Feng on the same day. Naturally, this caused a huge uproar throughout the land of origin. All forces understood that the order in the land of origin had changed, and from now on, there was a new rule that including emperors, monarchs, and those in the ultimate realm, no one could defy. This video will end here.